Yeah, hey, is this Justin?
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, this is just Jordan with the Kingdom. How are you?
Oh, hey man, I'm doing really good. How are you?
Doing really well. Appreciate it, man. So, man, we got 45, maybe 60 minutes on the calendar today. I wanted to talk a little bit about real estate. Got your application here. Now still a good time for you?
Yeah, it is. I got some time blocked off. Just grab my
Perfect,
pen and
man.
paper.
Yeah, then remind me, what market are you in?
Southern Florida.
Southern Florida.
Yeah.
How far from Miami?
Um, like an hour and a half away.
Okay. Yeah, we're looking at buying a vacation home over there.
Ooh.
Right on, man. Well, let's dive right in. Let's talk real estate. Let me get a little bit of clarity on where you're at right now. I've got your application here. Looks like Money Storm Group LLC is the name of your company.
Yeah.
Then looks like we're still starting and then looking for 20K a month. When you say you have not started your business yet, does that mean literally like we're at ground zero, or have you been in research phase for a little bit?
I've been in research phase. I haven't started any of the implementation, so I've been just gathering information the past 2 to 3 months.
And that's what YouTube, Google, what are you doing?
YouTube, books, a little bit of Google, just Googling different kind of gurus type thing.
Is it helping?
Um, no, not really.
Why not, man?
I'm not really sure. It's just there's a lot of information, so I don't really know exactly how to start or what the
Mhm.
best path to start would be. It's because they're
Well,
like
it,
drive for dollars or do direct mail or there's just a lot of
sure.
information.
Well, it's kind of like reading a book about, you know, building a car engine. It's a little bit different than actually having it in front of you and doing it, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, current strategy looks like you are looking to do subject to flips. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you land on that? Like what drove you to pick subject to flips? Because again, I know you haven't started yet. You read about it, like you heard about it. What specifically why subject to flips?
One of these main gurus that I've been following, it's just what he kind of preaches.
Mhm.
And I've seen probably a majority of the videos that I've seen came from him. Um, feel like he knows what he's doing,
Yeah.
so I'd be
Yeah,
open.
that's Pace Morby. He's a good dude. Good
Yeah.
dude. I've had many conversations with him. Um, dude, he's got a couple different programs out there. Any reason why you haven't jumped on those?
I just haven't really spoken with his team actually.
Gotcha. So subject to flips. Let's get a little bit more clarity on like the actual goal. I mean, like monetarily speaking, what are you trying to hit a month?
That 20K that I'm looking for, that'd probably be a really good starting point for me. Um, that's probably the most immediate goal, like my short term goal over the next 3 6 months.
20K.
Definitely by the end of the year. Yeah, 20K a month.
What's relevant about that? I mean, anything, or is that just a number you came up with?
It's a number I guess it's just a number I came up with. That's it. I mean, I've never made 20K a month in my life, so that'd be pretty awesome, man.
Dude, you talking about $250,000 a year, right? That's just under 250K.
Yeah.
Okay. How confident are you that you can hit that? I mean, like, I'm not saying you can't. I'm curious, man. Like, how confident are you that 20K, just under $250,000 a year, is going to be a reality for you?
Say like 6 out of 10. I'm confident that I like it. that it's possible, right?
Hmm.
But with where I am knowledge wise, I don't know the best way to go about doing it. So I know I'll hit it eventually, but I don't know when. So I'd like it to be by the end of the year, but I don't know if that's possible for me, just because I'm still figuring this out. It's kind of, yeah, that's why I'm reaching out for help.
Sure. So when you say just figuring it out, I mean, expound on that a little bit, man, because you've got the books, you've got, you know, Pace Morby's stuff is out there. I mean, what does just figuring it out mean?
I'm trying to figure out the best way to start because I mean, just different strategies, right? Like I've heard buyers first. I've heard just find the property. There's an abundance of buyers. Kind of just getting like putting in my first offer, making that first cold call. I haven't done, the first steps for a lot of these different like pieces of the puzzle. So I'm just not super. I don't know the best process.
Yeah,
So that's
you
yeah.
you mentioned a lot there. You mentioned cold calling, which is on the marketing side. You mentioned buyers first, which is a little bit more on like the logistics side, and then three or four other things. I mean, that's a big piece of the business, man. So logistics, the buyers, the sellers, etc. You're also looking to you're also looking to flip. So we're talking about two completely different niches: wholesaling and flipping, marketing, logistics, etc. Um, what part of the business do you need the most help with? Is it every single piece of it, or is it the marketing, or is it the logistics? Because you just mentioned all of them.
I'd say just about everything, man. Yeah, everything I probably need some help with. There's nothing I feel like I'm 100% at, being that I haven't practiced any of it or
Mm-hmm.
done any of it. So yeah, just about everything.
Yeah. Then a question on the application here, the assessment talked about fixing some major issues in your business. So let me just go over these really quick. System, process, procedure, we need all of that, correct?
Yeah,
Okay. Then you also selected clarity on marketing, KPI, and ad spend.
yeah.
On ad
These
spend,
are like a lot of it was just like pretty much every aspect of the business. So I
yeah,
clicked on
that's fine.
everything because I need help with all that.
Let's focus on that one for a second because I think I can help you out here. Marketing KPI, ad spend, it looks like as far as like ad spend and budget goes, you've got 25 to 5,000 marked down as resources to invest into growing a successful business. Is that accurate?
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Like cash on hand, ready to go. You set aside between 2,500 and five.
Um, no, that's so cash on hand is more. I was gonna use credit as like the fuel for the business right now.
Yeah, but
Credit that's
your
about
credits
4K.
no, well, your credit is between 0 and 500. But do you have a card or no?
It's a joint card, me and my wife.
Gotcha. What what does she think about all of this?
Pretty supportive. I was surprised because normally she'll shoot down, you know, these like me wanting to start a business, but brought up real estate. It's something that she's really open to. She's pretty excited for me to actually start. She's seen all the work I've put in over the past few months, just kind of learning. Now she's like, well, when are you gonna get out there and do it? So
Yeah, I've learned something interesting just in talking to a lot of people. There's a difference between, honey, I want you to make $250,000 a year, $250,000 a year, and honey, I want you to take out our joint credit card and invest. You said what, 4K on systems, process, procedure, KPI, ad spend. There's a big difference there.
yeah.
And is she
Yeah, for
supportive of you?
sure.
If she's supportive of you financially starting this business?
Yeah, so that's actually why we got the credit card, was for
Oh,
the business. It wasn't like a card that we had before.
yeah.
I talked to her, like, my credit's not the best, so we did a joint one, like she's my co-signer.
Hmm.
So help me to get some credit that I could use. And
So
I have money set aside to pay it off. It's like the credit situation, I just had some, at the beginning of COVID, my score really tanked.
mhm.
But now I got a job and I got plenty saved.
Oh, congrats, dude.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, being that she's like a let's just call it a co-signer, is she also like a co-owner of this business or no?
Um, I mean, I think she'd like to be, but I don't think she'd like to actually do any of the work. So I think she'll
Yeah,
like that she helps get it started, but she's not necessarily going to be like working on the business with me.
cool. Cool, man. Well, that was KPI ad spend, mentioned blueprint, etc. I'm still caught up on the subject to flips, man. Subject to is one thing, flips is one thing, but you're also talking about wholesaling. Can I give you some advice?
Yeah, I'm open for that.
Start with wholesaling.
Okay.
Start with
Why?
wholesale. Start with wholesaling. Flips are a completely different animal. There's a lot more risk when you start dumping, because we're talking about a flip, man. It might be 20, 30, 40, 50K. In renovating the property, you also have to buy the property. With where you guys are at financially, with a couple $1,000 cash and then $4,000 credit, I don't think we're there yet. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's true.
So let's wholesale. Let's do three, four, five, six, 10 deals, get you anywhere between 50 and 100K. And then I can walk you through what a flip would look like. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds good. That makes a lot of sense.
Dude, outside of 250K, which is awesome, why else are you doing this?
Mm, I mean, I'm working another 9 to 5 type gig, and I was doing that before COVID as
Mhm.
well. But I'm just kind of tired of it, man. Tired of working for somebody else, getting somebody else rich. I want to be able to make my own income,
Mhm.
and not just be bound by a schedule.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if this just doesn't work out? Let's just say that you don't, let's say you don't get clarity on the systems, process, procedure, marketing, KPI, ad spend, blueprint. I mean, what's the plan B, man? It doesn't sound like you can continue to work at your job.
I don't know. It's hard to think about, man, because this. I mean, it sounds really good. It sounds like something that, like, I know I can do it. I just need help kind of figuring out how to start. Um, I guess I would just
Yeah,
have to stay at the job. I don't really want to, but there's different business opportunities that you can start. But I really like real estate to be that thing that pulls me out of this.
sure. It has been for, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of people. Real estate is a little bit different than like crypto or drop shipping. Those are all pretty new. Real estate is not new.
Yeah,
With that being said, there is competition in real estate. It is a lot of work. It is a big commitment to learning. Justin, you're going to be learning in an entirely different industry. I mean, like, what are you in now? Like, what do you do for work now?
accounting.
Accounting. You any good?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Been
Cool,
doing
man.
it for 4 years.
4 years. Dude, are you willing to give up? I mean, dude, you invested, I'm assuming some money, but and 4 years into accounting. Like, are you willing to give that up?
Yeah, it's not something I want to do the rest of my life. I'm willing to make the transition and learn and do what I have to do to get out of that.
Well, dude, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds to me like you've made the decision that this is going to be it. This is going to be the next path that you take. And it sounds like you're pretty committed to making this a reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you guys think so far on the discovery?
Well, dude, I really like the wife question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only does she want you to do this, oh yeah, man, yeah, she wants you to make 250 grand a year. Yeah. Well, is she willing to basically spend money to get there?
Big difference.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. And just like unpacking everything he said and just developing like a really good line of questions from it, getting clarity on like exactly what we need to talk about. Do we need to do wholesale flips? Just like really good clarity along with questioning.
So that is taking authority on the call. Dude, you're talking about subject to flips, wholesaling. It's too much, man. Can I give you some advice? Yeah. Let's start with wholesaling. Like that is taking the stance of authority. So I have gotten credit, cash on hand, spouse, and I think the last one that I was just hitting was think about it. Because what did I just ask him? Dude, it sounds like you've made a decision that you're all in. This is it. Right? Like that's kind of where I was going. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to hit these objections that you guys come up with so frequently in the discovery. Make sense?
Yeah.
There's no way this dude can come back and talk about the wife.
Well, you say there's no way, but they do.
Yeah.
We
Well,
try it.
well, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'll show you guys what I mean. Cool. Let's keep on going. All right, man. I think I've got some good information here. Let me give you a little bit of coaching. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make sure you get value out of this call. So in order to get you ultimately to $250,000 a year, a couple things that you're going to have to nail in order to make that a reality. So our business model has to be a model that allows for consistent and predictable revenue. You agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. The other thing, and this is really important, is the model has to be scalable down the road. So, you look at these guys like myself and Pace Morby and Todd Fleming, et cetera. These guys that are getting to not 20 a month, but 100 a month on autopilot, their business model is something that can be scaled. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I mean, as far as a model that it works, has systems, processes, procedures, all of that, I mean, is this something that you've explored or is this a little bit newer for you?
It's something I've heard be talked about, but it's not something that I have really come to understand myself.
Okay. Dude, not a problem. And honestly, that's probably why we're on a call today, But dude, I mean, what it comes down to is this. I mean, are you open-minded to just getting the blueprint? The systems, process, procedure, the KPIs, the marketing. If we could get you to $250,000 a year faster and in a less time intensive way, I mean, are you open to just getting the blueprint?
Yeah, that would be helpful. I think that'd fill in all the gaps that I'm missing right now.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. So I've got what I need, man. Any other questions here really quick before I show you what it's going to look like?
No, I mean, I guess we talked about marketing. I do have some money set aside for marketing.
Well, let's be specific. What do you have set aside for marketing?
Well, I mean, just it's kind of all coming from the same place, right? All coming from the credit that I have and maybe a little bit of cash if I need to use that.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
but how much do you think I'm gonna have to spend, just realistically in your experience, till I get probably like my first deal?
Two main approaches that we take is number one, organic. Organic is free. There's a couple different approaches. One of them from, damn, just this really good looking son of a gun, Jordan Payne. He has an approach called market domination. That's going to be completely free. That alone can get you a deal. And then the other
Okay.
side of it is going to be kind of these micro campaigns. Micro means not a lot of money. So we're going to test out a couple different things. Being that you're over in South Florida, I'm probably just going to connect you with Dawn. She just posted last week. She had 3 closings in a day, and then she had 4 more that I guess we're closing this week. So I'll probably just connect you with Dawn, and she'll
Wow.
say, "Hey, this is what's working in South Florida." Cool,
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
dude. What you're describing is 100% what we do. So I have no doubt in my mind that we can help you go from, dude, I don't know where to start, and it's frustrating me, up to the point of doing 20K minimum, dude. That's only 2 deals. In Florida, that actually might be like 1 deal, right? So I have no
Yeah.
doubt. In fact, our worst student is doing better than that. Makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, dude, I can get you there, but where do you want to go from here? Um, I can share my notes with you and kind of explain A to Z what it would look like if you were to come in and work with myself and my team and Todd Fleming and Jordan Payne and all of these guys, like the Kingdom Real Estate.
Yeah, walk me through it, man. I want to know how that looks and if it's something that I can be a part of, man.
Cool. Before I do that, I mean, are you actively in a position right now where you want help getting to the $250,000 a year? Like, do you want me to go through all this, or are you just looking for just some kind of cliff notes on the next steps?
Um, yeah,
Let,
I
let,
want
let,
help.
let me phrase it a different way. Like, do you want to work with us if it's a good fit?
Yeah, if it's a good fit, I mean everything's made sense so far on the
Mhm.
call. Just kind of depends on how what you guys are offering is structured, if it's something
Yeah.
that can fill in those gaps.
Let me get some clarity on that. You said if it's a good fit for you specifically, just being a couple months into this, doing some research, etc., trying to get to $250,000. For you specifically, what do you need to see for this to be a good fit? You guys catching this?
Yes.
All right. What do you
Um,
got? What do you got, bro? What does a good fit mean for you?
Good
I get
fit, first thing would be probably like a blueprint or that process, like
Yep.
on how I'm actually going to set up the the business, like the back end, the systems that you were talking about, so I can be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as well as I'd say, so like support or mentorship and accessibility to help or to youth, like either or. So yeah, like a blueprint,
Yeah.
community, some
Let's
accessibility.
give me some backstory on mentorship. Are you looking for mentorship, like Yoda, follow the sun type of thing, or are you looking for coaching where, dude, this is how we fill out a contract. This is how we start a marketing campaign. This is the script that we use when somebody, like, are you looking for mentorship or coaching? There's a big difference, man.
I'm not really sure. I guess I'm just looking for somebody that I can go to and ask them a question if I'm getting stuck.
Are you the type of person that can read something or watch a video and then implement it? Or are you the type of person that says, dude, I really need this explained, real life scenario? You first person or second person?
Typically, I'm the first person, but every once in a while, there's something that I don't understand the best. So having that second or being that second person occasionally, I guess.
Cool. Cool, man. Let me break this down for you. Really, really quick, guys. What that little that would be the transition. What do you guys think about that?
It was good. I like the question because it gives you pretty much what you're looking for. Um I asked it yesterday before I got to the transition. It was so we were talking about the X, Y, and Z. It looks like you've been watching a couple different guys on YouTube. If you know, for a program that's going to work for you, what are the ideal like 2 or 3 things or criteria that you're looking for that you feel are going to help you to kind of solve this problem, right? And then they give you that so you can it works wonders because you can just tailor the um the pitch just all into what they said. That's a really good question. I like I like that you brought it up. Even like they're right at the transition. It's good.
Devin, what was that one where Jordan said you guys catching this shit? What was that again?
I think that was right before he started going into that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was when he asked
Yeah. It was like
if
first, yeah, like, do you want to work with us? And then well, what does the right fit look like? I think that was just kind of that whole part. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. If it's a good fit, I mean, well, let's be specific. For you and where you're at with just being in this a couple months and doing some research, what would a good fit be for you? So I said, do you want help with this? And then I clarified the question. Well, do you want to work with us? So there's 2 questions there. And then what is a good fit for you? When he said mentorship, the reason why I got clarity on that is there's a big difference. And I wanted to plant the seed of filling out a contract and the script for like the cold call, etc. It's just without saying this is what's included, I'm telling him what's included. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Cool. Any other insight before we continue? So again, guys, I'm trying to do this in a way where I'm getting rid of think about it, getting rid of wife, credit, debt, right? Makes sense?
Yep.
That makes sense.
All right, let me go back. I did pen, paper, drop of blood, whatever you got. Let me break this down for you.
Okay.
So specifically, this is what it looks like when we work with somebody. First thing that would make sense with working with you based on where you're at today, and I think you already alluded to this, is going to be blueprint. So ours is about 7 weeks long. So this is not a PDF, it's not a Word document. It's about a 7-week long process that we call our blueprint. So this is everything from foundation to what we need before we start, like the title companies, the contracts, all of that. We talk about the different niches of sellers that we serve. We go through how to identify these people, how to find them, all of that. So it is literally A to Z. That alone is getting people to, 1, 2, 3 deals a month just with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Sounds
So,
like
I
everything
mean,
that I'm missing.
well, yeah. So without like literally having to hammer every single bullet point of that, just know that it's going to take at least 7 weeks. Some people, it's a little bit more like 10 weeks because they go through different steps multiple times. So it's that thorough.
Okay.
So second thing is going to be community. Again, you alluded to this. You said, I kind of want some support and mentorship, maybe even a little bit of coaching. But you said you were the type of person that, for the most part, you can kind of DIY, do it yourself, get the blueprint, and then act on it, right? So we're going to pair that with the ability to ask questions to guys like Todd Fleming, guys like Jesse LeBlanc, that's doing over $1 million a year. This is going to be a couple times a week. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that going to be enough on the support side, mentorship side?
Yeah, I
So
think so.
yeah, let's just call it 4 times a week. Like, is that sufficient?
Oh yeah, dude, that's really helpful. Yeah.
And none of those are mandatory. It's just there as you need it.
Okay.
Last thing that I kind of wrote down for you is going to be scalability. So scalability, again, I alluded to this earlier, but we have to have a business model that is capable of being scaled. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. That's just not going to be, it's not sustainable, man. You can't do that for very long.
Yeah.
So
For
we're gonna build this in a way where we can bring in different people and bring in the right help at the right time. Any questions on that?
No. No, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense.
Cool, man. How's all that feel? Feel good?
Yeah, it feels good. I definitely think it's gonna clear up just the jumbled information I've gotten over the past few months. But it sounds really awesome, man.
Pretty confident that those 3 things in unison will get you to a couple deals a month.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. What's the kind of timeline? Because I know you said that the blueprint's about a 7 month or 7 week period, 7 weeks to 10. So just kind of following that system, do you have an average of when you're gonna get the first deal?
I've seen it take anywhere between 21 days and 7 months. 21-day guy was just, I don't think the guy slept at all. 7-month guy, I think he went on like a 4-month vacation. So I like to just remind people that you're going to be able to go at the pace that you want. And I'd say for a lot of people, call it a month and a half to get through the content, maybe a month to really start to get some traction, and then you'll have some deals after that. It's pretty typical.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Cool, man. What's next?
I guess the only thing we haven't really talked about, man, is price. So curious to
Yeah.
see how much all this costs.
Yeah. And we're going to give you a little bit of flack on that mindset, probably in the program. Big difference between cost and investment. I'm sure you understand that. So
Yeah.
ask me again.
What is the investment
Hey,
for
there
all
we
of
go.
this?
There we go. I've got 2 options for you. Both I think would be a good fit, and both would get you to the goal pretty quickly. First option, probably what I would lean towards if I was you. First option is a program called Axiom. So
Okay.
6-month, 4 meetings a week, the blueprint, infrastructure. We actually have an entire team of people that will come in and help build out like the CRM and the websites, all of that. Right. That option is the biggest difference in that option is the mentorship and the ongoing support for 6 months. Investment for that is 10K. And then I also I have another option, but let's start with that one. What do you think about that?
It sounds good. It sounds like something I want. Um, but just looking at like 10K, I don't have 10K right now, and
Right.
even if I break it up, um, I don't like I'm still even if I break it up, I'll have those costs for like marketing and probably like the website systems. So if there's one that's a little bit less, I think that would probably work a lot better for me. Um, as long as it still has the blueprint and it still has, I can still reach out to somebody for help.
So as far as the process goes, so the blueprint, the mentorship support, all of that. Do you still feel pretty confident that that's going to get you to the finish line, or at least to your first deal?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. On the finance side, I think you're actually a lot closer than you think. You've got 4,000 on a credit card. You have a couple $1,000s cash. Let's just call it 6K. You're pretty close, man.
Yeah. Like little more than halfway there to the 10K.
Well, and that's like literally today, right? You're still employed, still have money coming in. Girlfriend, wife really wants you to do this. Why don't we break it up into a couple payments? Buy you like 30 days to make that second payment.
So it'd be how many payments? Would it be 2 payments, 3, 4, 5? What does that look like?
I mean, we can do 2 payments. Get you started today. Utilize the credit and a little bit of the cash. Keep some money in your bank account, and then, you know, you're an accountant. You get paid again here probably in a couple weeks, and then a couple weeks after that, right?
Yeah. And that second payment would just be 30 days out, so it'd be like
Yeah.
24th, something like that of next month.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm just not 100% confident that I can come up with another the other like the rest of the second 5K by the end of next month.
What would be more realistic?
Um
2
I
months?
have about six. Well, yeah, either jumping in with, since I have about 6 right now, we could kind of split that in half. So break it up into 3 payments, or do, if you can give me another month or something, like I can do that second payment. You can give me an extra few weeks to do that, then that would work as well.
I mean, yeah, we can do whatever you want, but for you specifically, I think you need to put yourself in a position where you're not too comfortable. You know, there's got to be a balance here. So we want to stretch ourselves a little bit, but we don't want to overdo it, right? So why don't I just give you an extra couple weeks on that second payment?
Yeah, that makes sense. That would work.
Cool,
I'm
man.
curious, what's the second option though?
Second option is not going to be as ideal. It is a lifetime access to just the curriculum. It's a good option for some people, but I think with the goal of literally getting to $250,000 a year, I think you're going to need that mentorship element.
Okay.
Justin, if you said, "Hey, man, I just want to make 10K," I probably would have directed you to that kind of like that quick start curriculum portion of it, but that's not going to match your goal of 250K a year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Um,
I've got it pulled up, man. We do an Amex Discover. Like, what do you use?
I use
Thoughts?
Venmo.
No. So I skipped a little bit, guys. I didn't feel the need for a crazy tie down because I thought I did that pretty good in the transition. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't think you really needed a big tie down.
Yeah, no, it sounded really good. And just the whole way you approached it, I mean, it just made the end of the call that much easier for sure.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think it flowed pretty good. It gave some, I mean, just kind of fought, like got through everything in the discovery. So by the end, it was kind of difficult for him to say. I mean, different people. The only other thing could have been like when you nail the finances, when you nail the wife.
I'm not nailing
Sometimes
the
those
wife. don't wanna do that.
sometimes they'll still be like, I just want to think about it. Right. So could have thrown that up in the end, but I think just like asking questions about the timing, about it being something that he needs, it really helped to make sure that, they
Well,
didn't say that.
let's hit it. Same exact thing. But give me think about it or wife or something, right? So because the objection at the end is typically something during the beginning part of the process that we missed, right?
Yeah.
So confident going through it, asking the right questions, then at the end, holding them accountable to what they said, right? So yeah, dude, I mean, the 6 month option, mentorship, blueprint, my staff building out the CRM and the website for you is just 10K.
Whoa. I don't even have 10K, man. That's a lot. Is there any way you could break that up?
Yeah, so let's look at the root cause here, man. 10K is a lot to start a business that you are anticipating getting to $250,000 a year one.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
It's a lot right now just because I don't even have the full 10K. So
Okay.
10K figuratively, like it's not a lot to start the business, but with where I am financially, yes, it's a pretty significant amount of investment,
Gotcha. So let's pump the brakes on the investment side of it because I can figure that part out. No big deal. Outside of that, which we can figure out together here, literally in like 30 seconds. Outside of the money, you feel good about the process of the blueprint, support, coaching, 6 months, all of that. You feel good about it.
Yeah, I feel good about it, man. It's definitely something that I want to do. I just need to figure out more or less how I can make it work financially and
Mhm.
take a look at my finances, see how what that's gonna look like.
Okay. So it sounds like we're moving forward because I can help you with that part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely something that I do want to do.
Cool. Reason why I'm asking is if you would have said, I'm really unsure about it, I probably would not recommend that we do this. So I never want you to be in a position where you're unsure about starting a business that you believe is capable of doing $250,000. You know, Elon Musk doesn't start businesses that he's unsure of. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I need you to be sure that I want to do this. This is going to help me get there. And I trust that working with these guys is the right decision for me. So, dude, I just want you to be 100% honest with me. Is that where you're at? Or is there anything lingering right now that you just have like a gut? I just don't know about this. So are you 100%? Or is there something else that maybe you're not 100% sure on that we should talk about?
Only thing I'm not 100% sure on, man, is what breaking it up would look like. In accounting, I gotta look at numbers all day, so I just
Mhm.
want to make sure that however we break it up is actually going to make sense, and that it's going to work for me financially.
Yeah. Well, wife is good with you spending 4K on the credit card, right? So
Yeah,
we already know that.
yeah,
We know that. You've got a couple $1,000s cash.
yeah.
Okay. If you make a payment on the credit card, let's just say we run the 4K. If you make a payment on it, you're able to use it again. So what I would suggest is because you want to do this and you feel good about it, let's just break it into 2 payments, man. Let's just go 5 and 5
Okay,
or
it'd
4
be
and
five
6.
5K when and or 5K today and 5K when
Yeah, a month from now.
a month from now.
Yeah, because you're going to get paid again and you guys can make a payment on the credit card and then you can use it again.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like it's gonna work for me, man. Um, how about just give me some time. I'm gonna look at my finances, make sure because make sure the numbers all make sense. So take a look at how much I'm projected to get paid this next pay period, and then the pay period after that. Um, take a look at my wife's income coming in as well, just to make sure we're all set for that, and then I mean, we can jump on the phone again maybe on Monday, so I can go through all my finances.
Does your paycheck fluctuate that much? Like, aren't you, you get paid every couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, I get paid every couple weeks, but some weeks, I do get paid a little different. There can be like $1,000 up to $1,000 difference sometimes. So because we get different bonuses, right? So
Hmm.
just making sure that I gotta talk to my supervisor, make sure we're getting that bonus and see what we're gonna be getting in this next month or this next pay period, because that would be when I do get my bonus.
Okay. So you're really looking to check on the second payment, making sure everything's on the up and up on that.
Yeah, I want to make sure that the second payment is good, so that way I can start this confidently and not start it and be worried about making the second payment and like how am I going to come up with this?
And you're paid every 2 weeks.
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
Cool, man. Let's do this. Let's get you started. Let's get you started with 5. What I will do is I will put in the note that if your paycheck is off a little bit, what I will do is I will extend the second payment by 15 days. Okay. So if you're like, hey man, I'm a little bit short, I'll just extend that second payment out 15 days so that you get paid again. That should take care of that. Cool.
Okay. Um, yeah,
Wait, I mean, you don't sound very confident here, right? So you want to check your finances to make sure that the second payment you're not a little bit short, because sometimes your paycheck fluctuates about $1,000. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you with that. So I'm saying if that is to be true and it fluctuates, I will bump the second payment back 2 weeks, 15 days so that you're good on that. Is that fair?
yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
That makes sense, and I see what you're trying to do.
I'm trying
Just
to help. I'm
with
trying to help you.
yeah, for sure. I get that. Yeah, it makes sense. I do want to look at my finances first. Um, to see if there's a way that I don't know. I'd like to look at everything. I'm a really big numbers guy, and I appreciate you breaking it down for me and even giving me that extra 15 days. Um, yeah, but I'd like to look at my finances. I can do it pretty quickly. Maybe I don't need till Monday. We can jump on the phone on Friday or something.
I think I think there's something. I think there's something else going on here, man. Being an accountant, I mean, knowing we started off the conversation with you have 4K on a credit card with your wife.
Yeah.
Also started off you have several thousand cash available to help with the business. Being an accountant, I think you have a pretty clear understanding of where you're at. Dude, let's table that conversation for a second. I'm going to ask you one more time. Is there anything outside of the funding, which I think I think we have a clear understanding of that. Outside of that, is there anything else going on? Like, are you unsure about the time frame or investing time into the business, or are you unsure that you can get to 250 in a year? Like, what's going on, man?
No, I'm confident in the system. I'm confident that this is something that I could do. I think it's just kind of like the band-aid, ripping off the band-aid of
Yeah,
5K every like 5K this month and next month.
sure.
Um, if we could break it up to 3 months, then I'd feel a lot better.
Yeah, man. I mean, ripping off the Band-Aid is something that you're gonna have to do regardless. Starting a business, man, especially one that you've been researching and like you've been prepping for this for literally 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Devin, can you shoot the link over to the specialist really quick, please?
Yep, no problem.
So, dude, I mean, like this has been on your mind, maybe even on your heart for a while. It's almost, I'm going to use this phrase kind of lightly. It's a little bit like separation anxiety. Okay. So there's a little bit of inner turmoil about separating from what's really comfortable for you, which is I'm an accountant. I get paid every 2 weeks, blah, 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 blah. Right.
Yeah.
That is, to me, that is a really good indication that you are in a great spot. I've started several companies, dude, over the past 5 years. Every single one of them, I felt exactly what you're feeling right now. Can I afford it? Yeah. Is it a little bit uncomfortable? Yeah. If I do this, do I have to like, dude, this is now real for me. Every single time I felt like that, I knew that it was the right call to earmuffs, like sack up a little bit and just do it. Right? Is any of this resonating with you or am I missing it?
It makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I definitely feel like we're sharing some of the similar, like the same feelings.
Literally, so I'm going to use an example, man. Like, have you ever like jumped off of like a high dive or you're like on a swing that's like at the, like super, super high. And like the longer you wait, the more scary it is. And like you just wait and wait and wait. And then you just never do it because you psych yourself out.
Yeah.
Like, has that ever
Been there
happened to you?
before.
Or jumping off a
I've been there
like
before.
anything. Okay. And then your buddy comes along and just fucking shoves you. And then you're like, dude, this is real. Consider this the shove, man. You've got to do this.
Yeah, they're helpful.
So everything you're feeling is normal. In fact, if you didn't feel that, I probably wouldn't recommend that you start this business. Like, no good decision are you not going to have quote unquote butterflies. So I've got you. My team has got you. You're going to have, dude, literally world-class support. You're going to have a blueprint that is insanely in depth. And if you dedicate the time, this is going to be good. Cool.
Yeah.
Have you made the decision?
Yeah.
All right.
Only question, can we get started with 4K? Just the credit card and then I'll do the other 6.
Yeah. That's not the important part to me. Let's do it.
Awesome.
What do
That was
you
good.
guys think of that?
That was
Just-
good.
Yeah, really good job like keeping authority throughout the whole thing. When you're guiding through objections, through the numbers, I mean, just the entire time the way you presented yourself and the solutions, it was just with complete like this was the right decision for you and just gave you a ton of authority the whole time.
Yeah, for me, you came right up the edge of not pushing, but you were right close to it. But you didn't cross it. That's why it worked. It was right up to the edge of where Justin was about to feel pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can only go there when the rest of the call was a reflection of what they wanted to accomplish, right?
Yeah.
So knowing that him and his wife got a joint credit card for 4K to do it, knowing that they had a couple $1,000s, etc. The fear was not the second payment. Come to find out, right? So the fear was, dude, like I don't know. I mean, like it's just whatever you said, Justin. Like nervous about just starting a business or something like that.
Yeah.
So that is what we have to come down to. It would have been really easy to have been like, yeah, dude, look at your finances. Get back to me on Friday. right? But that wasn't the issue. So if we would have let it off the hook at that point, we would have missed the entire issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
true.
we've got to get to the bottom of what the hell is going on. So then you've got to have a little bit of balls to say, dude, you're an accountant. I'm pretty sure that you know how much money you have, right?
True.
So I was handling for a minute there, I was handling that kind of a smoke screen, the second payment. I overcame that. I'll give you an extra 15 days so you get paid again. When he said no to that, that's a red flag. Because the problem I had a solution for, and he still wasn't going. So there's another problem that I haven't come up with a solution for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I asked a couple different times, okay, so on that second payment, you're worried about maybe being $1,000 short. I'll buy you 2 weeks so you get paid again. And he continued to say no. So if there's a problem, it's just this, right? It's just that second payment. Yes. Cool. Solution. If they continue to say no, there's another problem that you haven't uncovered. In this case, it was just nervous about spending the money, just nervous about starting a business, right?
Yeah. For
So
sure.
what I think is happening is we're letting them off the hook. Problem, it's just this, right? Just this. Solution, and they're still saying no. I just need to think about it. We're letting them off the hook.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
That makes sense. That's true.
So I said, dude, let's table this. Let's table that. What is really going on? And then I said, what? I gave a couple different scenarios, right? Dude, is it just you're nervous about like dedicating the time? Is it maybe you're just nervous about putting in the 10 hours a week? Are you nervous that you're not going to hit 250? Like, what is it? What's really going on? Right?
Yes. I was right. And then I said it's ripping a band-aid off.
That was the entire 10 minutes of that last call was trying to get to that point. No, dude, it's just I'm nervous about ripping the band-aid off.
Yeah.
Then I was able to give the analogy of it's like jumping off a cliff or going skydiving. Like it's just you're right on the edge, man. And you're nervous about just going over, which is completely normal. And that's a good emotion to have. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what we're doing is we're getting to objection number 1 or number 2. And then we're basically not going to do what's really going on here. I think we're not having that part of the conversation. You guys agree,
Yeah.
or is that not accurate?
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Cool. On the advisor side, actually, let me stop this recording.